Hi friends, it's Thea with Gingham and Glue. Welcome back to my channel. So really glad you guys are with me today. It is, probably about 7:30 in the morning, my time. Um, I was up pretty early and just couldn't sleep. So I started getting going and realized that I really needed to get in here and get a video going for you guys. Um, gonna do just a little tutorial today. I had a request. Some of you, I'm sure, have probably already seen these. I posted them on a few of our Facebook groups. And yeah, I had some requests to show you how I did them. So yeah, so that's what we're going to do today. I also wanted to kind of show you what I've been working on a little bit, just real quick. I've been working on a um, medieval junk journal, and I've started quite a few embellishments for it. Lots of ephemera. I'm going to slide these out of the way here for just a second. And I apologize if the lighting is bad. I moved one of my lamps over again because of my glass mat. Otherwise, it'll shine through, and that's why this stuff is sitting over here. So I apologize for that. But I wanted to make it, you know, clear for you guys so you didn't have to worry about the glare in the glass. So yeah, so I've been working on some ephemera for the junk journal, and I've gotten quite a bit done. I honestly was going to do a lot of this on camera for you guys, but to be honest, I've just been in and out of here so briefly, off and on, the last couple weeks, just because of pain levels. So by the way, I'm doing pretty good. I've had a few setbacks here and there, but I do have follow-ups with my pain doctor and my orthopedic doctor this upcoming week. So we'll discuss all of that, of course, with them, and you know, but I am getting better, so that's the good thing. So anyway, okay, so this idea I got from Dee Dee Frago. She got it from someone else, and I cannot remember who she said it was, but I will link her video below for these. These are just super easy. I doubled up some book page. I'm recycling a lot of book page as much as I can. Doubled those up, cut them into, I think these are 4-inch squares, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, these are 4 by 4 inch squares. You know, put some DigiKit paper on there. Made another square out of the book page, just folded it in half, lined it with some coffee stain paper, folded it over, and then just embellished it and glued both sides down. So you'll have a pocket here, and then I did a thumb hole here for a pocket there. So yeah, I made a few of those. I love them. They're really fun. Put some seam binding ruffle on the bottom of these two, which I thought was really cute. So yeah, so I've done those. I've done a little booklet. This is done out of all of those wallpaper samples that I got, or the wallpaper sample books. Just took some of the wallpaper and, you know, sewed around it. Did not line the inside because it looks perfectly fine the way it is. And then just, you know, put my pages in and embellish it. I did put attach a little glassine envelope on the inside. So yeah, so I did that. Did these, which of course come from Rachel at Roxy Creations. These are those window pockets. Yeah, I did just have a tab punched out some tabs from the wallpaper. I thought that was pretty cute, and just embellished those. So there's that one. I've got this one, and you all may have seen this tag. I also posted this on some of our Facebook groups as well as my Instagram page. Love this tag. It's gorgeous. And even though it's a lot smaller than the pocket, I think it works perfectly for this. Gives a little bit of room. And then, of course, whoever gets this can put more in there if they'd like. So I thought that turned out really pretty. Did kind of a bookmark lined with coffee stain paper. And just a big tag, which I love. It's beautiful. I love this kit. Is from Rachel at Roxy Creations. This is her Renaissance kit. So it's kind of, my junk journal is kind of themed around this digi kit. So I did a journaling card, did a lace tab, lined it with coffee stain paper, and these are yes, all of these are cut from a collage masterboard that I did with some, with that digi kit and then some other digital kit papers. So, and there's quite a few of them, so I apologize, and I don't remember a lot of them. I did this one. This one turned out really cool. I used, for the very first time, used my wax seal and yeah, I stamped it upside down, so, but that's okay. It still works. Had a little drip of wax over here, which I think is pretty cool, and lined it with coffee stain paper again. So I think that turned out really neat. And then this one. So yeah, so I've got all of those done. Still working on a few other things. I also have, and as I'm sure some of you have already seen as well, I did all of these tags here. These are all done with these craft card tags. I got these at Hobby Lobby, but I'm sure you can order them online if you don't have a Hobby Lobby near you or at all. These are... And you can do this with any size, of course. These are 2.5, I believe, by just less than 5.25, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Yeah, just slightly less than 5.25. So, yes, I used these, which we're also going to be using for our tags today that we're going to make. I was wanting to experiment with a bunch of my distress oxides, and had watched a Tim Holtz video where he was using these, kind of showing how to incorporate the glass mat along with your inks and inking up, tags and paper, different kinds of paper and things like that. I essentially just colored, and I'll show you how I did that with these as well. Inked up the background with the distressed inks, and then I embellished them. So it's just a really fun technique. It's really, really cool. I just really, really like it. So yeah, I did all of these. They turned out absolutely gorgeous. I love them. So in love with these. Just absolutely in love with them. So yeah, so I did those. Okay. Oh, I popped out of there. Okay, so with these, we're essentially going to do the same thing. We're going to color the tag with the inks or the oxides, and then we're going to, these are hinged, and I've also made these little paperclip embellishments with some beads and charms and a little tassel to hold these closed. So they are, like I said, they're hinged, and this is just very, very simple. You can do this with, like I said, any size tag. I used these gorgeous botanical tags, and I apologize, I do not know where these came from. I will see if I can find out. This was a, excuse me, I had purchased and or downloaded these quite some time ago. So again, I apologize. I'm not sure where they come from, but I will try to find them. But these are just, little tags. So you want 2 tags, one big, one small, the smaller one wanting to fit right onto that bigger tag. So yeah, these are just, they're really fun. They're just really, really fun. And I kept thinking, how am I going to keep them closed, you know? And then it dawned on me that I could use a paper clip. And I thought, well, yeah, the paper clip's fine, but I want to embellish the paper clip. So I got this idea. This was inspired just putting these little charms on the paper clips by Mrs. Cog's Crafts. She did a video quite some time ago. It's been, oh, maybe a year or two, but I was, you know, kind of watching some of her past videos not too long ago to, you know, kind of catch up because I'd never really seen a lot of her videos. So yeah, love her stuff. So, okay, so I'm going to set these to the side and grab my 2 craft tags. And we want to, I'm trying to think what color I want. Let's see. So I picked out these 2. We've got blues and purples and greens. I think for this one, I'm going to shoot for the purple. And for this one, I'm going to go with blue. So I'm going to use my Stormy Sky and my Shaded Lilac for the purple. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to move those out of the way. Grab my Stormy Sky, grab my ink, dauber. So essentially, you are just going to just roll that ink or the dauber around in the ink. You're going to start on the glass mat, okay? So all I'm going to do is just start doing this. You are essentially dragging the ink from the glass mat onto the card. And you can ink it as much or as little as you want. I'm going to do quite a bit. I just love this Stormy Sky color. It's so pretty. Okay. I do tend to leave a little bit of the craft card showing in the middle, just because mainly first of all, you're going to be covering a lot of that up. And second of all, I want it to kind of peek through just a little bit. So I'm going to just blend that just a smidge. Okay. I want to just make sure that my edges are inked up really, really well. I really want that blue to show. Okay. So there's that one. Let me wipe, excuse me, wipe this up. Some glue going on there. Okay. Oops. Okay. Excuse me. Gosh, allergies today, you guys. Okay, let me grab the Shaded Lilac. We're going to do the exact same. It's amazing how well the oxides really cover and color that craft card. It's a very unique color, you know, together. I'm sure you could get the same effect with other types of, you know, or colored card. Just, you know, of course it's going to vary. with what you're using. So again, just want to make sure my edges are covered up really well. And I apologize if I'm probably shaking you guys a little bit, so I'm so sorry. And I don't think I asked how everyone was doing. I hope everyone's doing okay. My mom and my sister are, my husband and I are going to have lunch with them today. They're coming down from Kansas City, which is like an hour from us. And we're going to meet them in the local town to have lunch. We're going to go have Mexican food. There's an amazing, amazing Mexican food restaurant there. So yeah, so we're going to go eat and see each other because we haven't in quite some time. And so we really wanted to hang out today. Okay, so we've got our purple and our blue. I'm going to swing, I know you're going to get a glare, but I'm going to swing this light over just a little bit so you can maybe see just a little bit better. Yeah, it's glaring pretty good, but I'm so sorry. Yeah, they're beautiful. I love them. Sorry, I've got lint all over me. Okay, so now we want to pick out our embellishments, and we're going to line these with coffee stained paper, ink these, and also pick out what we're going to use to hinge them. Now on the other two, on the ones I've done, one I used just a cotton linen, the other one I used some lace. So it just depends on what you have or what you want to use. Let me grab my scraps. I've also got some sari silk here, which would also work really well. I might use it for that one. And then I've got some, how long is that? Yeah, that's just about right. I could use some of this cotton linen. I can fray the edges on this and on the sari silk. So this size is like just about perfect. I'm gonna grab, sometimes when I have a hard time fraying the edges of fabric, I'll just get a fairly thick needle, and I will just do it that way. Sometimes you just need a little extra help. So I'm gonna just pull at those threads. This one doesn't want to seem to, oh, it's got a, that's why, because it's got a salvaged edge. So I need to cut that off. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I really like that worn look. This would fray on its own after a while anyway, if you didn't glue it all the way to the edge. But I'm gonna be gluing it all the way to the edge. So I want that frayed edge before I glue it down. Okay. Make sure I don't throw away my needle. Let me grab, this is gonna be cut down a little bit more too. Oh, Getting stuck on everything here today. Okay. Yeah, so I'm actually going to cut this almost in half. Well, pretty much in half, because I don't need this much. I mean, you can use as much as you want, but I don't want it to get in, you know, because this is going to be lined with coffee stain paper to journal on. So you don't want it really big because then it interferes with writing space. So at least that's what I'm doing, because I want whoever gets this to be able to write on both tags. So I'm just frying this up a little bit. There we go. Okay. All right. So I've got both of those. Move this over. And now I'm going to grab my coffee stain paper. I've got some scraps here. Perfect. And perfect. And then I need a larger piece for the bigger tags. So let's go ahead and glue these down. Grab my Fabri-Tac. I'm gonna have string. I've already got string everywhere, but I've definitely got string everywhere. I'm gonna glue this side. I probably could have just glued my tag, which is actually what I meant to do, but okay. Let me roll some sleeves up. I love my jackets or sweatshirts with the thumb holes. I love them, but they do tend to get in the way when you're trying to craft. Oh, sorry, probably jiggling you again. Okay. Just gonna rub some of the glue off here so I'm not totally gumming up my scissors. Okay. Just trim that excess off. A little bit of the top of that tag, that's okay. Yeah, so it's like 52 degrees, I think, this morning, which is insane considering just a couple weeks ago we had 2 weeks of, you know, like 30, 40 below weather. And it's looking like our weather's going to be pretty decent the next couple of weeks, so that's awesome. Spring is finally on its way. We've definitely got our regulars we have we have a pair of geese, male and female. They come to our pond every year to lay their eggs and hatch them and raise them and all that other good stuff. They come every single year. And they were here actually a couple weeks ago when the really bad weather was coming, you know. And birds are, you know, they know best. They know. And we also have I'm not sure what kind of bird they are, but they build their nest up in right underneath the eave of our house out back every single year as well. And they come back every year. And they were also here a couple weeks ago. Actually, I think it's been more than a couple weeks ago. And we were like, do they know something we don't? Because, you know, we had been told that we had at least another, I don't know, 6 weeks of winter or whatever. And so, but, you know, they know better than we do. And so, anyway, but the geese, it's really interesting. They, you know, it's the same pair every single year. And they'll run off any other geese or us if we get too close, which we never do. But sometimes they come up onto the driveway. We have a long gravel drive, and they'll come up and, ooh, they can get mean. But anyway, there's another goose out there with them, just one, and it's staying. They're allowing it to be there. I don't know if maybe it's another female. Maybe she lost her mate. I don't know. Maybe he's got 2 wives this year. I don't know. But it's really interesting. Yeah, they've been coming since we moved in, which was like 6, 7 years ago. And so I was like, oh my gosh, where is this other goose come from? You know, they're letting him or her stay. I would imagine it's a female, but I don't know. So just really interesting. It's like, okay. But yeah, the other little birds are building their nest, and so they can lay their eggs. And so yeah, we've had a lot. Oh, well, we always have a lot of bird activity, but I swear we've had more this year already. Okay, so now we're going to line this one. Now, you want it to be, or at least I do, I want it to be slightly larger than the smaller tag. I want it to show, just because there's a much bigger writing space on this tag. So I want to give the person who gets this more journaling space. So that was my plan. You can do it however you want, but I definitely want mine bigger. So I'm gonna just lay this, well, probably the best thing to do would be to do this. So I'm gonna just go just like that, come over here, just make a mark there and there, and then grab my trimmer. Give me just a second here. I'm gonna clean out any paper debris I have in here. There we go. I noticed it was getting a little clogged up in there. Make sure this is straight. Okay. If I don't like the size, I can always cut another piece out. Okay, and I do. So now I'm going to cut another piece, the same size. Just line this up. And I can always erase those lines. I am not worried about it. Okay, there we go. Got my two pieces. Okay, let's tamp those down. Now, before I put these down, I am going to ink them. Do I want to ink them with the same color? That's the trick. I think I'm actually going to ink. I'm trying to think here. Because I want just a little definition. Yeah, I'm gonna use Vintage Photo. I was trying to decide if I wanted to ink it with the purple, but I think that would just blend in too much, so. Okay, there's that one. And that one, and we will ink the little tags. Or at least I will. You obviously, you don't have to do this part if you don't want to, you know. And if you wanted to sew around the craft tag before or after you get these down, you can do that as well. I chose not to because I knew there was going to be a lot going on with what I layered on there. So yeah, I decided not to. Just make sure all that's off. Make sure this is straight. And when I rub excess glue off, you're going to see that some of the ink is going to lift a little bit, and that's okay. You can either go back over it or you can just leave it. I think it gives it a little bit more of a vintage look. But that's just me, you know. Again, you can do these any way you want. Okay. Sorry, just trying to make sure that's centered there. Yeah, if you rub quickly and lightly after that, you know, you've glued something down with Fabri-Tac, very, you know, right after you see it, it'll come right up. Okay. Okay. All right. So I am going to these tags I'm going to ink with the colored ink, with the oxide to kind of match. Again, you don't have to do this part. You can leave them as is, or, you know, ink them with Vintage Photo, you know, versus the colored oxide. Yeah, it was really nice to watch Tim Holtz do his demonstrations. You know, I've never really given much thought as to, and I should have, as to how to, or how all, you know, there are so many different ways to use his inks. And it was really cool to see all the different ways that you can, you know, and how he, how he does it and how they were meant to be used, you know. I always just thought, oh, okay, you ink edges and that's it, you know, but there's so much more. There's so much more. I've played with them on the glass mat, rubbing them onto the glass mat, spraying them with some water and dipping some tags into that color. They're just gorgeous. I don't know if I have, oh, I do. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I played with these. So I literally just rubbed the ink pad onto the glass mat, sprayed some water, and then just literally just dipped my, this is actually, I think this is mixed media paper, if I'm not mistaken, or watercolor paper, one of the two. But yeah, the pigment just is so neat, and the way it pools, yeah, it's just really cool. So yeah, that was fun. It was fun to play with. Okay, so we've got those inked. Now we are going to hinge them. So let me grab those. I'm going to use the Sari Silk for the purple. This is actually, you can't really tell, but it's very pale pink Sari Silk. Wonder if this is going to be wide enough. Give me just a second. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting the fabric, whatever you're going to be using to hinge it with, we're going to put it on the underside. Okay, so I need to make sure that this is wide enough to wrap around the big tag. So what I'm doing is I'm centering the small tag onto the coffee stain paper, which essentially should be the center of the large tag. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just doing that. I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to wrap it just gently around the large tag to make sure I'm going to have enough to pull behind there. And it's actually not. It's not enough. It's not wide enough. So I need to grab another piece of sari silk. And more than likely, this is not going to be wide enough either. So, which is fine. So let me grab that. I'm going to just slide this right underneath. And you only want just a little bit, because you don't, again, you don't want to overlap that coffee stain paper too much. Okay, so obviously this is wide enough. And I could leave it that wide, but the back of this tag can also be written on. So I don't want it that wide. I want to be able to give them enough room. So I think right there. Oh, is it gonna, no, I'm gonna have to cut it. Okay. Sorry, my hands are just a little bit shaky this morning. Okay. Let's see how long we need. Okay. And you don't have to do it the exact length. You know, I like to do it just a smidge under. Okay. I'm going to fray those edges again. Just a little bit. Because that'll take away from the surface amount. Okay. All right, so now, I'm going to do this one. Obviously, I'm going to do this one opening this way. This one, I'm going to do it going the opposite way. Okay. So I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to run a bead of glue, very thin bead of glue, right down the edge there. Okay. And whoops. I'm going to just lay that on there, just like that, giving it just a little edge. And just tamp that down. Okay. All right. Now, we're going to center that small tag over the coffee stained paper and then flip it over, lay it down, try and keep it as stable as you can. And then again, just a very small line of glue. Okay. And then I'm going to take my sari silk and just press it over. Okay. Okay. There we go. So there's our first one. And we'll decorate this here in just a second. We want to get this one done too. Now, like I said, I could be wrong, but this may not be a wide enough piece. So Let's do it. Oh, I could be wrong. Okay, so let's, again, I'm gonna center this. That's on there. Yeah, that's not gonna be wide enough. Okay, so, well, we could use another piece of sari silk. Let me just make sure again. Yep. Center that. Oops, sorry. I'm trying to pick it up. It's moving on me. There we go. That, no, one edge is going to be, isn't going to be wide enough. Well, hang on. There was a little, this is the fiddly part. Sorry, you guys. Just want to, okay. Yeah, that's still too, that's not wide enough. Sorry. Okay. Let's see what I have in here. Do have some lace. Nope, that's not gonna work. Yeah, you can use lace, you can use fabric. You could use paper. That would be fine too. I've got this. It's kind of a, it's a pale pink lace. This, of course, is going to work. Okay, so I think I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this lace. I think that's really pretty. So let me cut it. Okay, I'm going to run my bead of glue just down that edge. Oh, yeah. So I'm gluing the wrong, there's a wrong and a right side to lace mostly. I'm gluing the wrong side up. Sorry, getting some glue on here. Okay, so that way the right side of the lace is showing on the outside. Okay, I'm gonna flip it over. And even though this one's a little bit thicker, sorry. Good grief. Make sure I didn't get that off. Okay. I got some down here too, but that's going to be covered. Even though that's a little, this is a little wider and it's going to cover just a little bit more space. I'm okay with that. I don't think it's too bad. Yeah, let's make sure this is centered before I glue that down. Whoops. Just like that. And just tuck it over just like that. Okay. And I'm going to run some glue down here. Glue that. I could cut that excess off, but I think this will be okay. You still have plenty of writing room on there. Okay, so there's our second one. Awesome. How are we doing on time? Ooh, we're getting close, you guys. I may have to turn this into a two-parter. Oh my gosh. Okay. So our next step is going to embellish. Now, you of course you can do this any way you want. I've been doing it, of course, with flowers and some Tracy labels. So, which is probably what I'm going to do now. I want small things. A lot of these botanicals you're going to see me use come from Adamo prints on Etsy. They are awesome. They've got a huge selection of flowers, fussy cut flowers. I have cut out more flowers in the last few weeks than I have my entire life. It's insane how much I've, obviously these are not fussy cut out. These were some of the ones that I hadn't gotten to yet, but I have done quite a bit. So, got a little basket there. So yeah, I am going to, got some roses here. Those might be kind of neat. Also with Adamo prints, when you purchase the file, you can get, they send you a file with borders and without. So, you know, you get that little border around the fussy cut. Yeah, so they'll send you a file with and without. So you can choose however way you want to print it out and cut it. So that was kind of cool. I thought that was neat. Way too big. Way too big. Got a little sunflower here. That would be kind of cool. So yeah, we may have to turn this into a two-parter, guys. Sorry about that. I am a very slow crafter, so you'll have to just bear with me. Those are kind of cool. I really do like this sunflower. I know you didn't want to see me fussy cut, but sometimes when, you know, you see something and you're like, oh, that's so perfect. And then you realize you haven't fussy cut it out, you know, you're just like, ah. And then of course, it always happens when you're filming. I don't know if you can hear that. I've got, we have a lot of doves around here, and I've got a dove outside my window cooing. Yeah, it is foggy and drizzly right now, but it's really warm. I didn't check the temperature, the weather before I took the dogs out this morning, and so I was all bundled up, all my layers, everything, and got outside and I was like, oh, it's, I don't need all this stuff on me. And I was actually getting pretty warm, and so I had to come back inside and take a couple things off. So I had like this jacket, and then I had a sweatshirt, and then my coat and a scarf, and my hat, my snow cap, and so I was just like, okay, spring is on its way. Thank you, Lord. Okay, so I've got that one. Now you'll see on this one I did some butterflies. I also put some stickles, which is, if you're not familiar, most of you are, I'm sure, the stickles. It's that glitter glue, which is, its stuff is awesome. I don't know if you can see the sparkles of the butterflies. I did those. And then this one I layered. I put some cheesecloth and I layered some flowers and a leaf and like a branch on top of that. So I don't know how I want and if I want to layer more. So I'm kind of, essentially I was wanting to make it look like, you know, the flowers on the tag are kind of coming forward a little bit. So I do like this one as well. I'll fussy cut this out real quick, as quickly as I can. So yeah, I can't wait to see my mom and my sister today and have lunch with them. Eat at the awesome Mexican restaurant. Oh, that's getting a little tight there, but I really do like this. Sorry, just lifting that up so I can see what I'm doing. Round that off a little bit. It's not perfect, but it's totally fine. Oh. I wish I could speed fussy cut. Ugh. I just can't do that. Man, Rachel at Roxy Creations, holy cow. I don't know if it's because she's a lefty or what, but man, that girl she can cut. Okay, yeah, I really, really like that. Really like that a lot. This one, I think, trying to decide if I want, I'm going to cover up those berries, but I'm okay with that. I'm going to put a rose on there. I'll do something like that. Let me look at some of my other stuff. I'm losing, ooh, do like that. This would cover it up. Could maybe do that smaller rose. Yeah, I don't know yet. Okay, what are we at? Oh, we're right at an hour. Good grief, you guys. Okay, so this is going to be obviously a two-parter. So I'm going to let you go, and I appreciate you guys being here so much. It just means the world to me. If you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you will. Be sure to hit that like button, and I will catch you in the next video, and we will finish these up. Take care, guys. Have a great day. Bye.